What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to make a quick instructional video. This is going to be part of a variety of videos that are going to be coming up because I want to really break down simple things for future apprentices and technicians that are barely coming into the field, and they just need to get basic terminology down. So let's go ahead and just pretty much hop into it. But I just wanted you guys to know that this may be a direction in which the channel is going. And even further, there's so many folks out there that are actually getting into this industry that their first language is actually Spanish. So I may end up going into, explaining this stuff in their first language so that they can understand. Obviously, the terminology I'm going to use in English so that they can use it in English themselves. But when it comes down to breaking it down, I will be using Spanish. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. If not, don't be surprised when you start seeing stuff come up in Spanish. Anyways, let's hop into the different types of residential systems. And this is primarily in the Southwest. You guys know, or you folks know by now, that I live in the Southwest, particularly Arizona. But I know that, Nevada, Texas is very, very similar. And even parts of California and New Mexico are very similar. I've not spent too much time, though. The only place I've really spent some time is in Nevada and in Texas. So I'm really speaking for, a very smaller portion of the United States, but I'm sure this will help you even if you're in other parts of the country. All right, so what we need to understand is these are not going to be all of the systems you are going to encounter, but in my experience, which is about a decade, this is in the Southwest what we've experienced. This is what we see on an everyday basis, 9 out of 10 times. So first things first, right? Let's break them down from where they start. You need to understand that there's a package unit and there's a split unit, right? Package unit, you will see them. It's a big box, very big box, and it's got two, big holes on the front of it, two big squares. It ends up being, your return and your supply. That is called a package unit. Now the other, this is typically found on either on the roof or sometimes on the ground. It's really the two locations. I would say here again in Arizona, we typically see them on the roof. Okay, so it's a very big box, very dang heavy. Typically, you need a crane 99% of the time to get it up there. All right, so that's a package unit. Okay, now let's talk about the split unit. The split unit, the name split means, again, it's split into two pieces. You have your indoor unit, which is sometimes found in the attic, in the closet, in the garage. It can be found in an outdoor closet, etc., right? Rarely here will you see them in basements because we don't really have basements out here because we don't have tornadoes, right? So people from the Midwest, they typically are like, oh, over there, I've heard that they have them a lot in the basement, but not here because we don't have basements. They're very rare. So you will also have an outdoor unit. Again, it's typically people will call it a condenser, but realistically, outdoor unit would be a better term because the condenser would only apply to a air conditioner or a straight cool because that's the only time it's condensing. So those are your two that you have. From there, you're going to have essentially, with the package unit, you're going to have, again, the two most common here are a furnace with an air conditioner inside of the pack and a heat pump, which has a reversing valve, RV, and that's a package unit as well. So when you get the package unit, you want to figure out, okay, what type of package unit am I working on? Okay, I am working on a package heat pump or a package furnace or gas is typically the way that we like to distinguish them, okay? And again, the reversing valve, that's a little bit further into detail. We'll get into that eventually. That uses the reversing valve to heat and cool by changing the direction of the flow of the refrigerant. And here in the package gas is what we typically call them. And in my experience of, I think, 4 or 5 different companies, this is the terminology that was used in pretty much all of them. So like, hey, today I'm working on a package, gas. Or today I'm working on a package, heat pump. Okay? And in your mind, you know that a heat pump has a reversing valve. And of course, in your mind, you know that a packaged gas is using a furnace to heat and an air conditioner to cool. Okay, so now let's hop into the split unit. The split unit will be broken down again primarily into 2 different sections. You will either have a split gas, which has a furnace and a coil that sits on top of it, or sideways if it's in an attic or whatever, right? And an air conditioner or a condenser outside. This is actually legitimately a condenser because it is actually condensing every time it's running. So that's the only legitimate time you can call it a condenser, even though some folks call everything that's outdoor, any outdoor unit, they like to call it the condenser, but that's just not essentially accurate, okay? So the other option you have, right, is an air handler, which is going to be paired up with the outdoor unit, which is a heat pump. And of course, in your mind, you know that a heat pump has a reversing valve, right? So let's try to get that down. If you're ever calling me for some help or for some questions, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what type of unit are you working on? So for example, if you're working on you're going to tell me, I'm working on a split heat pump, right? I will automatically know that this is the setup that you're running. You have an air handler somewhere and a heat pump outside, right? Could be on the side of the house, on top of the roof, and the air handler again could be in an attic, closet, stuff like that, okay? So that's pretty much it, y'all. I just wanted you all to be able to distinguish the type of units that you're working on. I noticed that sometimes I'll be talking to, apprentices, and they honestly cannot yet distinguish the difference between a packaged gas and a packaged heat pump. It's very important that we start here and are able to kind of go from, start a solid base to go from there. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it, y'all. Thanks for watching. Let me know what y'all think of this new, I think I'm going to call it whiteboard. I'll probably start putting them on Wednesdays, whiteboard Wednesdays or something like that. And we'll kind of go from there explaining how that works. All right. Well, thanks for watching, y'all. Like, subscribe, comment, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.